I'm Betsy.
And I'm Anita, and you're listening to
Ain't That Some SSSHHHH?
Wow.
Yes,
it's episode 3.
Again. Episode 3.
Hey, we just got done with the reel, too.
Yes.
We were just doing a reel, and we were getting it on. What is that? Cumbia salsa?
That's salsa.
Salsa?
Oh, salsa merengue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys are following us on Instagram. Check out our reel, our first reel. You know what we're talking about.
Yes. Today's episode is going to be about self-love. A lot of you guys have sent us questions regarding, how do you know when you need to put self-love before family, husband, kiddos. So that topic came up a lot, and that's why this episode is going to be about
Self-love. I know. I feel like a lot of people talk about it, but don't really know about it.
Exactly. Or don't know how to...
what it truly means.
Exactly.
So I want to start off by reading a quote to you guys that is going to pretty much tie the whole podcast.
Yeah.
Right? And it's honestly... It's
on point.
It's on point. It's period. Okay, so let's see. It says, self-love is a constant choice. It's not a magical feeling that appears to you one day. It's a commitment to your boundaries, your well-being, your mental and emotional health, and your body.
Damn.
Bomb. Mic drop. No, but dude, like that pretty much sums up the whole self-love, but we'll go into deeper details and give you guys our perspective on self-love and what it means to us. But that...
And you see in that quote, like it hits it spot on, but it's easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Putting yourself first, like physically, health, mental, is just, yeah, we want to do that, but sometimes we don't get to do that.
We don't.
And that's the problem, that we get so consumed with everything that's going on with the kids, with the household, with the husband, and it's just, next thing you know, the day's over.
Yeah, the day is over.
And you still feel the same.
Yeah.
And you repeat the process all over again. So at what point do we stop? At what point do we no, today I need to do this for me. Exactly. Today I need to relax. I need to go get a massage, go fill the bathtub up, put some salt pebbles and just,
do it.
Yes, because you just need to disconnect. But as women, we're so hard on ourselves. We start thinking, I need to do laundry. I need to cook. The kids get out at this time, so I have this time to get all this stuff ready. It's just
mom guilt,
self-guilt,
and
everything.
It's hard, especially if you're very hard on yourself, because that was my issue. I'm very hard on myself.
That's still my issue.
Yeah. And you just feel you feel like you're taking away time from your kids that you could be with them,
exactly.
But you don't realize how important it is to actually take that time and go do something for yourself. Because the minute that I don't, and I'm at home with the kids 24/7, I snap quicker.
Yes.
Anything they do, it's like, I explode. And it's just not healthy for them and not healtty for us.
And they don't know, right?
They don't know.
The kiddos come home from work. From work.
Oh, you sending your kids to work.
My kids go to work.
They ain't got no school.
They're passing out flyers.
Here you
knocking
go.
on doors. Let's sell your house.
Business cards. Is that what you do? You put it. You're like handing out free pencils, but with your business card on there.
No, but when the kids come home, from school, they have all this energy, and now they want your attention 100%.
Yeah.
And then you're exhausted. You just clean the whole house. You just cook. You just did laundry.
Yeah.
If you're working, you just got work in there, but you still have to go home and do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't. I'm tired already. You're home. Here's food. Get your tablet. Get on TV or soccer practice.
And then homework.
Everything. It piles up. So that's why we need to be where it says boundaries. Putting yourself first. You need to learn how to put yourself first. And like I said, it's easier said than done. But if you don't start, you will never know.
Never do it.
how that feels, how that, that little break.
And I know it's hard too, because for me, I'm just learning boundaries too. I never set boundaries to anyone. I'm a people pleaser.
Oh, me too.
And I'm a giver, and I hate the word no. I can never say no. It's like, I'll be like, yeah, even though I don't want to do it, even though I'm not happy with the choice. Yeah. But, I'm honestly what is it? I'm
I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And like she was saying, it's easier said than done. And once you realize self-love and you realize that boundaries are so important, and you set your first boundary, you'll notice how much of a difference it makes, and it makes you feel good about yourself. You're like, okay.
Even when you do something for yourself, like if you go get your nails done or get a massage or whatever it is, or just be home with nobody and just like relaxing, meditating, writing down your goals, writing down like whatever you want to do for that day and, a month from now.
Just taking time out of
that little time out to recharge, it goes a long way.
Exactly.
It goes a long way. But like I said, as women, we're givers, we're pleasers.
Well, I feel like men are too, right?
To a certain extent. Certain extent. Because I know a lot of men that, they're great at giving themselves self-love. I'm going golfing for like 4 hours. Well, the wife is still at home with the kids.
Right.
I'm going with my friends fishing. The wife is still at home with the kids.
Yeah.
I'm going whatever activity they're going to go do. That's self-love. They're doing something for themselves.
Exactly.
But we're still stuck at home.
Yeah.
We're still...
But see, that comes again to not setting boundaries, because the minute you set boundaries with your significant other, then it's, you both now know that you both need that time off to, okay, you know what? Today is my wife's turn. Communication.
Letting your partner know, like...
how you're feeling.
I'm exhausted. I am frustrated. I'm taking it on the kiddos. I need my time.
Yeah.
And him understanding that.
Exactly.
So it goes both ways, like you said. The other thing is like, how do you categorize self-love? Like, what would you, for yourself, if you need to start doing stuff for yourself, like what will you start doing? Like, what's your go-to thing that you will do for yourself?
Me, I think just taking time away from the kids and going to, what is my self-love?
Right?
Ooh,
yeah. Like you start thinking like, what is like staying away from the kids? But is it really?
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
I think for me, it's just honestly like when I feel recharged, and it's when they're gone and I'm home alone, and I just lay in the couch and just really just take everything in. And I'm like, okay, what is it that I really want? And, it's just reflecting. For me, that's huge. That's when I feel I'm giving myself self-love. Yeah. Reflecting on what I truly want. And then just once they come home, I'm like, okay, I'm recharged. I feel good,
So for me, self-love means many things. It means taking care of myself, taking care of like my body, taking care of, the way I look, because that plays a part. If I feel and look good or think that I look good, right? Everybody be like, you don't look good. But if I think I look good, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, yeah.
And that energy comes out, right?
Which I mean, I agree, because self-love is mental and physical.
And then, I just honestly, last month, or actually no, this month, figured out what recharges me. So the house is clean.
I love that.
It's peaceful. It's quiet. I'm in my sweats, in a t-shirt.
In your own natural habitat.
I sit in my room. Everything's clean. I don't have to do anything.
Yes.
And then I just bought this infuser with
essential oils.
Yeah. And like I have like different ones, right? And so I'm like, okay, this one's relax. I put it on. Alexa, play some meditation music, and then Alexa's amazing. She does everything I tell her to do.
Except clean the house.
And then I just start writing and journaling. I just started that because one of my really good friends told me to buy this affirmation book and start journaling. And I just started doing that about 2 weeks ago. And wow, Like once you start writing down like what you want to do, what's distracting you, what are my goals, and you have like this long list now, and you're like, wow, I feel good. I feel at peace.
Exactly.
And then the kids come and you're like, hey babies, how are you?
Let go of everything before you came here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see, for me, I tend to do that at night though. When I'm in bed and the kids are already asleep, and I'm like all these thoughts in my head, because I can never shut my thoughts at night. You know, especially when you deal with anxiety and all of this, it's so hard to just shut down. So I've noticed that one of the things that really helps me is, you know, putting the kids to sleep, and I'm just laying there in bed and I have all these emotions. I just start writing on my phone, on my notes. If you look through my phone, through my notes, oh my God, you'll be like, damn, this is a diary. I don't,
I want to look.
You don't know my password. But it's kind of like a journal, like a diary for me. You know, I write down what's really hurting me, what's bothering me, how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I poured everything out, and then I go back and I reread everything and start analyzing a lot of stuff, like why am I feeling this way? You know, am I right to feel this way? Like little things like that. And it truly does help to just get it out of my system. You know, and then once it's on there, I'm like, okay, I close my phone and I'm like, all right, I can go to sleep now. So that honestly helps me. Like, even though I don't write it physically, I'm typing it, you know, but just having my thoughts on a piece of paper and going back and reflecting on it, it really does help.
It does. And it also helps to surround yourself with women or men like that, you know, are keeping you like positive.
Exactly.
And like just, you know, hey, dude, what are you doing? Let's go have a drink, or let's go eat lunch, or you know, and let's take the kiddos to the park.
This was a really hard thing for me, because when I met you and we started becoming really close, you would always tell me like, let's go out, let's do this, get out of the house, and when you have so much anxiety, being out of the house is that's not your comfort level, right? So it becomes very, very hard. And when you would tell me, like, get out of the house, let's go grab lunch, let's go do this.
Kids. Take the kids.
Yes, she's like, no excuses. You either take the kids or what, you know? But even when we would go and have lunch, it was so weird for me. I would just feel so uncomfortable. But the more I started doing it, and I started, you know, having fun, and I'm like, wow, I love it, you know? And I'm like, when am I going to go have lunch? Like hanging out with my girlfriends, doing things for myself.
And you just started doing it.
I just started doing that.
Because it's funny, because in the beginning when we would go eat, she'll be like, oh, look at my babies. And I'm like, put the phone down.
Yeah. It's hard to detach.
Okay.
It's so hard to detach.
Babies. You've been gone 20 minutes.
Yeah, like, girl, come on. Get it together.
And so I tell her, hey, let's do like a little girls trip. And she's like, I don't know, with the kids, without my babies.
It's so hard for me. And it still is, you know, just because I've been doing this for about 6 years, ever since Mila was born, and it's going to be 7 years, and I've never taken
teenagers.
Oh God.
No, that's a game changer.
That's a game changer. I don't think I'm ready for that. But it's been hard, you know, because I haven't done anything for myself for the past 6 years. I think, you know, I've committed my life to just the kids. And then once I did start doing things for myself when I was a makeup artist, it was a part-time job type of thing. It wasn't like full on what I've wanted to do, you know? So a lot of times I had to set my career, a lot of things that I've wanted to do aside to be that mom for them, to be there for them. Yeah. So it was hard. And I mean, it became a routine. And getting out of it, when you become comfortable, it's anything that gets out of your comfort zone, it's just started giving me anxiety. But you know, now I'm at a point where I'm like, I want different. So I got to move different. I got to start breaking the old habits, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a lot of things now. Now I'm like, okay, I got to start hanging out with my friends. Stop thinking about the kids. They're okay. I got to enjoy my time, enjoy my moment. And, you know, it's been helping. And then I start seeing the results. I'm like, okay, I'm good. By the end of the day, I'm like, all right, my baby's come. I missed you. And I'm just smothering them. And, you know, it's so much better.
And that's, you know, it's funny because in the beginning when I started doing that, it was, you know, I will go to the store and I have, you know, an alarm system in my house. So I'm looking at the cameras inside and out the house, right? And I'm like, okay, they're in the living room. And I'll do my thing and then I'll go again and check. And it was just so hard to disconnect. Because as a parent, like you're thinking all this stuff, right? And they're like, okay, who opened the door? the door is open, you know? And it's just like, dude,
No,
I
it's
gotta
so
stop.
true.
I gotta stop.
It's true.
And then once you start doing it more and more and more, it gets, you know,
It's easier.
It gets easier.
Yeah.
It gets easier. And then now you start appreciating your time.
Exactly.
And your alone time. And your friends' social life. As a parent,
Exactly.
gosh.
I'm telling you, I forgot what it was like to have a normal conversation with another human being.
You talk kid language.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I mean, you know, for so long I was just at home and the only people I would talk to was my mom and my sister.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nothing where I would feel motivated to do better, to do what I wanted. You know, it was just kind of like, and then I'm all day with the kids.
Yep.
So
And then when you talk to your kids, right, you have like this other type of like lingo that you
talk.
It's not even like a full sentence. It's like chopped up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When I went back to work, you know, 2 years ago, and I went to real estate, I caught myself talking like that, and I'm like,
you're like, I want some
how you doing? It's like, you know, it's like not what are you doing? It's like, you know,
what you doing?
Yeah, what you doing?
Go to your room. You tell your coworker, go to your room now.
Talk back to me.
No, it's that mommy instinct, and it. You just do it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. No, it's true. Dude, you just hit the nail right on the head. Because it's so true. That's how I was feeling. I'm like, how do I tell this person, like, go to your room. Time out.
It's just like, you have to disconnect, and you will not know that till you start hanging out with people again, and you're like, wow. Like,
there's more to just kids.
Yes.
There's more to messy house.
Messy house. No, definitely that's, you know, part of the self-love.
Yeah.
Also, you know, don't be so hard on yourself.
Oh, yeah. I am guilty.
I am very hard on myself. Like, even right now,
even right now,
this podcast, I was like,
she's been struggling.
I was like, how do I look? Does the lonja, is it covered? Like, I need to make sure the faja is on correctly so I could
she's
breathe
like
through the whole thing.
having the cameraman go in the back
I
of
have the camera get
like, how do I look? How do I look? How does this angle look? Take a picture. Show me.
I'm very hard on myself.
You are
but I'm
very
also,
hard.
you know, I'm starting to take care of my physical health. You know, I'm starting to work out. I'm starting to eat healthier. I'm taking that back, and you know, trying to stay on track.
Yeah.
But it's hard because it's a process. It took me how long to gain this weight?
Yeah.
So it's going to take me long to lose the weight.
Right.
But I just want like the fast results. But I am very hard on myself.
I think a lot of us are. It's very rare somebody that are loving with your own self.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had like liposuction and like, you know, mommy makeover, I will be.
You feel good.
I would be in a bathing suit right now.
Yeah, you're like, F this.
I'd be like, guys.
Well, hello.
But you know, it's just, you know, we have to learn whatever type of size you are, love yourself, like feel comfortable. And it's like I said, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, see, for me, it's super hard. I'm very hard on myself, as in letting myself down, letting other people down, self-talk.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not good enough, stuff like that. You know, that's where I'm hard on myself. Yeah. And a lot of times I'm like, and when I was going through this whole postpartum depression, you know, you get so consumed about just being a housewife, being a mom, being, you know, everything. Yes. So you feel like that's all you're good at. That you forget that you're your own person and there's more to you. Mm-hmm. And so I was just always thinking like, okay, I have to be a good mom, setting all these expectations that involved the people around me rather than myself.
But that's also self-love though. You know, we want to meet all these expectations, and at the same time, we're not going to meet them.
No.
So don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, be gentle with yourself.
Now I realized a lot of things. Yeah. You know, I think at the time it was just, I was very, very hard on myself. Now I'm like, no, it's okay to ask for help. Yeah. It's okay to accept the help, you know, and instead of feeling like, oh, you're a bad mom because you're accepting help. Oh, because you're asking for help. You know, now I'm at a point where whenever I do start feeling like I'm bringing all these negative thoughts into myself, I'm like, hold up. It's not like that. See the positive. Yeah. You know? So that's where I'm at right now, where I'm learning to catch myself when I'm starting to have all these negative thoughts, or I'm talking to myself negative, you know?
Yeah.
No. But it is a process. It's definitely a process.
Yes. Especially like you said, asking for help God, that was so hard for me. In the beginning, that was so hard for me. Now I'll be like, Mom, here are the kids.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll be back at 8.
I don't even ask no more.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was very hard for me because I feel like I'm the mom. I got this. This is my job.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do this whole list of things and still be a badass mom.
Exactly. It's like,
And then
well,
you break.
I feel like it's because, you know, you get reminded so much of it. Querías hijos, ¿no? Ahora te aguantas. So it
When
really
you have
gets,
kids, you give your life up.
yeah.
And that right
it
there.
really consumes you. You start believing it.
Yes.
You're just, you know, you're afraid of what people are going to think, what
Yes.
people are going to say. And you basically just go off of that.
And don't get me wrong. It's not about giving your life away. It's just like
I mean, your life changes.
Boundaries.
Yes.
You know, make time to spend with it. Balance. And actually, you know what? That's my theme for the year for myself because I have a coach and he wanted us to put a theme on the year. You know, either, you know, successful, whatever theme, like, you know, business, money making, whatever. It was just a theme that relate to what you're doing. And my theme was balance. I chose that for this year. Balance work, balance family, balance kids, balance me.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like when you label it, it sounds easy, but doing it, it gets hard because you really have, you know what? It all comes down to time management. If you're not good with time management, you're all over the place and forget about balance.
I suck at that.
So discipline,
I suck at that too.
I think a lot of us do.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to, and this brings me back to when it comes to the gym. And I want to talk. No, I want to talk a point about that because, you know, a lot of times, a lot of people just see the gym as in, oh, you know, gym will help. Let's say fitness and meal prepping, right? It's more than just the food that you're consuming, more than just the gym. It all comes down to self-discipline because, you know, you can have a burger and you can have your meal. What are you going to pick?
A burger. Sorry.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with extra fries,
not gonna
please.
lie to you guys.
With fries,
Burgers.
You know, so it all comes down to discipline, time management, and it's honestly hard.
You see,
It's so hard.
Now that I'm doing, you know, like the eating healthy, going to work out, what I put in my head is like, the trainer's not free. The trainer's not free. Don't eat the burger. Go eat the salad. Go eat the, you know, the grilled chicken and the brown rice and the veggies. You know, because when I want to do that, I was like, you're wasting money. You're throwing away money.
Yeah.
And then I'll go and eat the healthy stuff.
Good. You start reminding yourself.
I noticed that works.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's yeah.
Or else I'd be like, oh, I'll run it off. I'll run it off tomorrow.
I'll run an extra mile.
Yeah, I'll run the burger.
Hi, Betsy. No, but yeah, you know, I think balance for sure. But you really have to learn how to be self-disciplined.
Exactly.
And because if you don't have self-discipline, you won't have that balance.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's just.
But it's just hard, you know, because being disciplined is really hard.
It's very hard, especially time. I am horrible in scheduling my day. Horrible. I mean, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to get ready before the kids, answer my emails. You know, by the time the kids wake up, I'll have breakfast and I'll get them ready. You know?
You have all this scenario movie in your head.
My day before, I have every hour in the morning, right?
And you wake up.
I wake up, I was like, oh, another 30 minutes. And then you pass out, you're like, get up!
Get up! Mommy, I'm hungry. No breakfast today.
We're eating at school.
You're catching breakfast at school.
And Ethan's like, you didn't make me eggs. I was like, you gotta go. The bus is coming. So it's just, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Respect the journey. Respect what you're going through. It's gonna get easier. It's just baby steps.
Baby steps. It's just taking that initiative.
Yes.
Once you feel like you want to change and you make the first step, it just gets easier. Yeah. You know, one of the things that really helped me was the 5-second rule. I don't know if you, by Mel Robbins. Oh my God, you need to read that book. It's amazing.
The 5-second rule. I know
the 5-second rule.
Drops your food on the floor in 5 seconds.
She talks about that too. Okay. But it's kind of like that. So basically, she gives you 5 seconds, right? whenever you do have something, like let's say, for example, getting out of bed, your alarm rings, right? What do? Hit the snooze button. 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. Oh, and it keeps going, right? So what she talks about is, okay, you're in bed, your alarm hits. And what do? When you're about to hit that snooze button, stop yourself. As soon as you hear the alarm ringing, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You get up, you do it. Because she was saying how it takes, after those 5 seconds, you start self-doubting. You start thinking about all these negative things, and that's when it holds you back.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
So if the first thing that comes into your mind, you don't self-doubt it. You just go, okay, you know what? Right now, let's say I want to launch a podcast. You do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Go. You take the initiative. What am I going to do to start the podcast?
Call Anita.
I blast you on Instagram and tag you.
5 second rule.
The 5 second rule. And because then you start feeling like you're committed to it. And I love that book. You should read it. Yeah. And so
I'll read that book.
I feel like that when I was going through all this, depression and having a really hard time, I was stuck in a funk where a lot of times I felt like I wanted to do things and I would sit there and think about it and just start going deeper, and then I start thinking about all the negative stuff. Yeah. And it would hold me back from actually going and doing it. So when I started reading that book, it changed my life, honestly. And I'm not even lying to you. When I started my fitness journey, when I hired my trainer, it really just pushes you. I would wake up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to my podcast and not my podcast, my Audible book. And it would just help me to get up and start doing it and don't think about, what could be. No, just do it. Do it.
I think the worst thing that I do when I wake up, and this is one of the things I want to change this year, is go straight to my phone. Even if I wake up at the time I said I was going to wake up, I'm up at 5, get the phone, cancel alarm, and then straight to social media.
Yeah.
Checking my emails, social media. Yep. And next thing you know, it's 6:30.
It consumes you.
And now I'm late again.
Yeah. Dude, read the 5 second rule.
Yeah.
It's life changing. I'm going to read it again. I'm not lying, because for a while I was super motivated. And at that time, it was when I was really going meal prepping. I was going to the gym.
You were doing so good.
I was doing amazing. And that's when I was listening to her. I was every morning, every night. I was driving.
The author?
Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
Yeah, she's amazing, dude.
We should invite her.
I wish.
I know.
That's a goal.
Mel Robbins,
that's a goal. That is a goal, dude. She's all up there now.
Yeah.
But she was she struggled a lot, and she talks about her story, how she was 40 years old, she was struggling with her marriage, she was struggling with her life, she didn't know what she was doing. Now she owns multiple business, making millions of dollars. And, she's the happiest she's ever been. And it all changed because of the 5 second rule.
All right. That's our book for this month, guys. The 5 second rule.
I'm actually going to read it again.
We'll start today.
Yeah.
I'll start today. The other thing that I wanted to do, though, I do a lot of audibles. But sometimes I get so distracted with the driving, and then I'm listening to it, and then I'll start thinking about something else.
Yeah.
I want to buy the books now and read it physically.
See, with me, I can't do that. I
can't do it either.
And it's funny because a lot of people rather have someone hear it or read it. The minute I start reading, dude, I start wandering off. I don't know why. And when I'm hearing it, it hits different for me. Dude, I can't do it.
I can listen to it on the
Audible.
Yeah, on the Audible. I could listen to it, but like I said, I start wondering. And then if I go to my room and I open the page, I'm like, but then once I'm intrigued, I start getting into it and I get hooked, I'll keep reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to get to that part again. I used to do that a lot. I used to read books.
You should.
And now I don't.
It's life-changing, honestly. And there's another book, too, since we're talking about self-love. It's called Feel Sexy Again. And I've talked about this on my YouTube channel. Yes. And that book is also really good if you're a mom and you feel like you've lost yourself. That book helped me figure out what I really wanted. Because there's a lot of times where I knew what I wanted and I knew what I liked. For me, it's like the beauty industry. But I just never felt confident. I never felt good about myself to go and pursue that dream, or, that mom guilt once again. So that book really helped me to just, it goes deeper and it makes you think about a certain time where you felt the happiest, the best version of yourself. So it makes you think, you're like, okay, when was it that I felt my best? When did I feel when I was invincible, right? So it makes you think. And once you find that, you're like, okay, I know what it was. I was independent. I was chasing my dream. I was doing this and that, right? You can now do it again, except you got to start shifting things a little bit because now you have kids. Now you're married, family, but that doesn't mean you let yourself go, right? Yeah. So Feel Sexy Again. It's an amazing book.
We'll do that next month.
Yeah. We'll do and it talks about like doing things that you've always wanted to do, but have been afraid to do. So it's definitely, I think for me, Audible books and just books in general that are self-development, I think really helps you get out of that funk and, learn about self-love.
Yeah. So I love it. You definitely need to get those books.
You're going to love them. Yeah.
Especially feeling sexy, because once you feel sexy again, it's just like, I feel like for a woman, you feel unstoppable.
Exactly.
Exactly. Did I say that right? Unstoppable.
No, you really do.
You feel like, okay, like I got this. Like feeling good in your own body, like makes you go out of your comfort zone.
And sometimes it's not so much about your physique, because it's more of an internal thing. And let me hit a really good point. So let's say you're gonna go get a BBL. Right?
Wow.
No, I'm not. I'm just, let's say you're a very insecure person and you're like, you know what? I don't like my body. I want to go and get a BBL. It's going to make me feel better. And you do, right? You go get a BBL, but it's more than that. If you don't fix the internal, the out, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be insecure. You really have to heal the inner part, and then the outer part comes.
That's true.
And it's true because, there is a lot of females out there.
Very insecure.
And they're beautiful. They're have
gorgeous.
The most beautiful body. They have the most gorgeous face. You're like, damn, you're perfect.
Yeah.
Even if they got their body done, even if whatever, or they're naturally born that way, they're insecure. And it honestly all goes down to self-love. Once you're aware of self-love, then you're like, boom, everything shifts. Yeah. And then you can go get a BBL, do whatever it is that,
it's just going to add to confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's no longer becoming your confidence. It's just adding to it.
Yes, exactly. So one of the things for me was being in the social media life, right? Being an influencer. You're around all these influencers. So you do start becoming a little insecure because you're like, well, I don't look like them. Well, and the pressure is on. Pressure really is on, and you have all these people, opinions and everything, and telling you like, oh, you need to get a BBL, you need to do this, you need to do that. You can't be an influencer if you don't have a BBL, right? So it really starts consuming you. You start becoming insecure, and that's what was happening to me. So this time around, now that I'm learning about self-love and reading books and stuff like that, it's the BBL is like, it's very irrelevant now for me. It's more of like, I want to learn how to love myself. You're naturally beautiful. You bring more to the table than just looks. And that's where my mind literally shifted, honestly. Wow. When I started learning, like, I'm more than just a look. I'm bringing more to the table. Like, I'm an amazing mom. I've been an amazing partner. You know what I mean? And that's when it's like, boom.
And that's the thing too, learning what we bring to the table. Exactly. We are, like I said, we're so
hard on ourselves.
And we don't know what we bring to the table. But when you start, when you sit down and you start analyzing and writing stuff
down.
Being
self-aware.
And
dude, let me tell you, self-aware is the biggest thing. When you're self-aware, the game changes.
But it takes a lot of work.
Oh, a lot of work.
You
have to be willing to be open-minded.
And you're not. To me, last year, there's times where I'm still a bit insecure about, things.
It's not normal.
And it's natural. But last year, it was when I was like, damn, like, I bring a lot to the table. I'm a good person. I'm a good mom. I work my butt off. I'm a good friend. I'm outgoing. I have a good heart. I care for people. And I'm like you, like I sometimes need to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
But, and then when I love hard. So
You go
I know,
above and beyond.
Yes, above and beyond. So I know that I bring a lot to the table.
Than just looks.
But if you would have talked to me 2 years ago,
no.
Yeah. I was very insecure. I was very insecure. I doubted everything that I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something. I had goals. Once you start not feeling comfortable where you're at, it's because you need
there's more
to grow.
Yes.
Something's
100%.
telling you I need to grow. And some people are good going through life, just
one step at a time and just enjoying
just steady, just the ride, right? They're good to go through the ride. But there's going to come a time in your life where you're going to be like, there's something. More. There's more. And that, listen to it. Listen and pay attention to it, because that just means you are starting to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Where you want to be.
Yeah.
You want to grow now. You just don't know how.
See, dude, you just hit the spot. That's what I was going through.
Yeah.
When I was stuck in depression and being at home, I felt like I needed to do more, and I just couldn't figure out what it was, because like you said, I was so insecure. I was self-doubting. Even though I knew I had to do something, it was just like those thoughts pulling me back. Like, you're not good enough. You're never going to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you think? You're a mom. Stay home. All these thoughts. And it's so true what you just said. Like, you just feel like, you if you have that feeling,
mm-hmm.
listen to it. 100% listen to it, because for a long time, I tried to brush it off. I kept saying, you know what? No, like, I should be happy with what I'm living. This is every mom's dream. Like, yep. Who doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom and just be with their kids and help them grow and be the person that nobody can take care of your kids the way you are going to do it. So it's honestly a blessing to be able to do that. But for me, it was just, there was more to me. I felt like I needed to do something else, and I kept trying to brush it off. I'm like, no, like, I try to force myself to really play that part. That was just not for me. And the minute that I took that leap where I was like, you know what? No, I need to speak up. I need to say what I'm feeling, and I need to say, just get out of it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how. I had no idea like what my next step was. I just did it, and then that's when I started realizing like all these things. And I was like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Like, everything that I was thinking was not normal. So reaching out to professional help, and then, just taking that other steps, huge difference. Yeah.
But dude, you listened.
I listened. Exactly. You knew there was
something else.
You just know.
But you see, I also think it's with timing. Mm-hmm. Because I could get a feeling that I want to do something right now, right?
Ooh, timing.
But it's sometimes not the time. And I learned that again.
And you're not ready for it.
You're not ready. For example, this podcast. I knew I wanted to do a podcast.
And you were pressed on it.
And I was pushing, and I was pushing, and I was pushing. But like I said in the last podcast, if I would have pursued it at that moment, I most likely would not be doing the podcast right now, because I had so much going on. And, I'm still learning how to,
juggle
everything, put everything where it needs to go. But at that time, I wasn't ready, even though I wanted it so bad. I was not ready.
Sometimes we don't understand why
Yeah.
it doesn't happen when you feel like you're ready. Once again, I feel like God does things for a reason, and the timing is perfect.
His timing
is perfect.
And I feel like he puts the seed in you, and you are thinking, and you're developing in your head without you even knowing. Like, it's there. But it's not your time. It don't matter. Mm-hmm. It's his time. When it's his time, he's going to put the people in your life, the right people in your life, to even help you with that.
Agree.
The right resources, the financial part, because every business is financial, right? Yeah. So I could want to do all kinds of business, but if the financial's there, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
So, but when it's when it's his time, it all aligns. It all goes so consecutively that you're like, wow, that was easy.
Really meant to be.
That was easy.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
So it's again, respect your journey. Don't be so hard on yourself. Everybody's going through this.
Love yourself.
Love everything around you.
Yes.
And if you don't,
what you bring to the table.
Change it.
Start seeing
what's bringing you down.
Yeah.
What's
Holding you down.
Exactly. What's holding you down? What's stopping you from conquering your goals or getting to that next step for you to grow?
Yes. And like she was saying, if you just, you have that feeling where you're not happy. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? There's a lot of moms out there that enjoy being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And if that's your thing, I give you props, honestly.
And they're amazing at it.
Amazing. You're just naturally born with it. I'm like, wow.
That, stay-at-home moms in the PTO, soccer, softball, basketball. And I'm like,
girl, how do you do it?
Eliana, do you want to play soccer? No? Cool. Yes. But I used to be that mom. Oh my gosh. Ethan was in softball. He was in soccer. But
you were happy.
I was happy at that moment. Okay. Yes. I was happy at the moment.
And then
again, when I started feeling uncomfortable, thoughts came to my head. I'm like, it was time for me to grow. Mm-hmm. So then that's when I was like, okay,
I'm going to take that leap of faith and just do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like we all get that feeling. And, it's just the difference is whether you decide to take that next move or you stay there and try to suppress it as much as you can until you explode.
But then there's also settling.
What do you mean settling?
So, for example, if you get that little seed, right, and you have to do something, you have to grow. But then you become your own worst enemy because you're like, no, what for? It's going to cost money. I don't want to do it. It's going to cost time. And then you're your worst enemy at that moment. Mm-hmm. And then after putting all these negative thoughts in your head, you settle. And you're like, nope, I'm good. And you settle. But there's something that my grandma would tell me. And my dad tells me this all the time. If you don't do it, you will never know.
It's true.
If you don't do it, you will never know.
And it's easier said than done, though.
It's worse to not know than to know.
Yeah.
Because you could live your whole life, be like, damn, I should have done that. Damn, I would be here if I would have pursued it. Damn. But if you know, and it didn't happen, let's say it failed, right? Let's say that little seed fell, but you have others. You know you did everything in your power to make it happen. Mm-hmm. And it was just not for you.
Exactly.
So it's better to know than not to know.
Yeah, it's true.
Boom.
Mic drop. All right, we're done. Just kidding. No, it's so true, though. It is true. Like settling.
Yeah. So,
then it comes back again to, your own self-negative talks.
Everything
comes out.
Everything comes it's like just a
it ties
ball.
Back.
Yes, it's a ball of all kinds of cluster
and confidence.
Shit in there.
Just confidence.
Self-love. And it all ties together.
Fuck. Oop.
Beep.
Hey, it's okay. He said we can say up to I don't know how many, but that's my first one. No, but dude, it all ties up to self-love, confidence, and
mental health, physical health. Everything.
Damn.
Everything is just connected, intertwined.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So, ladies, what would you give our audience the first step to do to self-love? Because, yes, they heard everything we just said right now, everything we've been through, what we have done, right?
Yeah.
What would you suggest them to do their next step if they're at a point in their life right now where they're feeling like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I know there's more to it?
I would say do a list of your do's and don'ts or your wants. This is what I want.
Yes.
But this is what I need.
Ooh, that right there.
This is what I want to do. But, at this moment, this is what I need.
I love that.
And start writing everything down. This is how I want to feel. What's holding you back from feeling like that?
Yes.
I think writing down everything, because then when you're writing down, I was the type of person I would write everything. Mm-hmm. When I would get in arguments with, my significant other, I was like, no, he did this. And then I would go back and I was like, no, but, I'll write like the positive, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to outweigh.
Exacto.
Balance. Again. So my advice,
I love what you said.
Yeah.
Write down what you want and what you need.
Yeah.
And then try to find a balance in between. Mm-hmm. And I think that was my mistake, because I never knew what I wanted and I never knew what I needed. Mm-hmm. And I didn't write it down. Like you said, I just kind of went all over the place and handled the situation completely wrong.
Yeah.
You know? But that's
And stop putting so much, you know, expectations on what life should be, you know?
Unrealistic
expectations. And I think a lot of, you know, we'll touch the subject when we talk about relationships, but we put unrealistic things on people.
And let me sorry to interrupt you, but when you said that, unrealistic expectations, and it all comes down to social media. Because we tend to put that pressure on ourselves because we start comparing ourselves to social media. And this is why we decided to create this podcast. And it all comes down to that, because we all want to live that society has made us to look a certain way, to act a certain way, because that's the expectation of everybody has social media nowadays, right? So you get so consumed, and
great grandmas have social media.
Exactly. Like you're expected to live a certain lifestyle now, right? And like we mentioned in our previous podcast, nobody talks about the real raw stuff.
Yes.
You know, and all they see is the pretty. So
and it goes, that social media goes for the looks, it goes for mentally, it goes for business, because I myself was very hard on myself when I started real estate, and I would have started following all these real estate people, right? All these
that were probably doing real estate for like 10 years.
Yeah. Or we're doing for 5 years. And I was comparing myself to them. And then that's when all these negatives are like, dude, how did he do 100 sales? How did he do 300 sales in a year? How did they make $500,000, you know? Or how did they sell this much? And it's just like, how am I going to do that?
It starts making you feel bad about yourself.
And now everything that I accomplish these 6 months to a year no longer mean anything, because I'm comparing myself to somebody that's been in the business for so long.
Exactly.
You know? And then finally I'm like, you know what? I can't do that. That's causing me anxiety, depression, self-doubt. And it's like, no, like, I'm Betsy. This is what I bring to the table. My clients love me. My clients, you know, I become really good friends with them.
You attract your own.
My own, yeah.
You know, you're your own you.
Yes.
And it all comes back down to self-love, self-confidence.
And stop comparing yourself. I compared myself to all these agents.
It's hard.
And then I wanted to start dressing like all these agents. I wanted to start doing stuff that they were doing, you know, to themselves, because I want to be like that.
It's like a certain look that you have to do to fit in.
Exactly. And I was like, no. So now I'll sometimes wear heels and a suit to showings. Sometimes I'll wear my Nikes and leggings.
That's just you.
It's me.
Yeah. Just, you know? Honestly. And I feel like that's what really why people gravitate towards you. I think one of the things that also has been helping me, you know, is just unfollowing certain things that have been putting like weight on me.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of accounts where you follow them because you're like, okay, she's beautiful, she posts this, she posts that, like that's my goal, right? And sometimes we forget that we don't follow them for inspiration. Ooh. We follow them because, you know, that's who you try to be, and it really consumes you. Preach, honestly.
Sis. Preach. Yeah.
It consumes you. So one of the things that I've been doing is just I started on following people that I no longer, if I feel a certain way where I'm just feeling like it makes me feel bad about myself,
or weighing you down,
or weighing me down, unfollow.
Yeah.
And you know, when I do go on my Instagram, it's like friends, people that I truly support and just feel like, okay, you know, they bring more to the table than just looks. You know, they're really showing you motivation. Like, this is who I really, truly aspire to be.
Yeah.
You know, or even quotes. You go on my Instagram, quotes. It's just quotes now. Because I started really getting, like I said, I started getting consumed about trying to fit in, trying to look a certain, you know, and I feel like and it was hard for me because, like I said, you know, I started being a normal person, and now, you know, people see me as an influencer. Well, you were a normal person. I still am. I still am, right? But the way people see you is what shifts, and they put this pressure on you. Like, you know, I remember I one time posted like a picture on my Instagram, and some girl was like, "Oh, you know, you need to start. The only thing you're missing is like more brand shoes. You need to get more like purses, and you need a BBL. And I'm like a
Because
starter pack.
Well,
you know what I
we're
mean?
used to.
Yeah,
that's what we see.
That's what I'm saying, and it's like, why?
And
and so having those comments repeatedly, it really starts messing with you, because you're like, oh shoot, maybe I do need to start looking like them because I don't fit in.
And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with buying name brand
no,
things.
there's nothing. I mean, I have them, and but to me, it's just a purse.
There's nothing wrong with that, but we get so caught up on what we're seeing on social media that is not realistic. That purse was probably given to her. Those shoes, she's promoting them. So she wants you to use that code so you could buy them. That clothes, she gives you a code so you could buy them because she gets something off of it.
Commission out of it.
So it's not...
Like you said, and there's nothing wrong if you do like high-end stuff. You worked your ass for it. I 100% support that. Like, go do it, whatever the heck you want.
But it's whatever you feel comfortable with. It's whatever you want.
If that doesn't fit your lifestyle, that's just not who you aspire to be. Unfollow. Don't. Just don't. No, it's true.
It's true.
It's true, Yeah. So don't judge me if you freaking see me with the freaking Adidas little bag or my freaking Ross purse, okay?
Marshalls.
No, it's true though, and I think that's what people don't understand, because when they come to my page, it's like, it's not just that, and they get so triggered by it, and they leave all these nasty comments like, you need this purse, you need a closet with all this.
If you want her to wear that stuff, buy it, please.
I know, por favor.
She'll give you her P.O. box.
Period. Unfollow.
No, don't unfollow, please.
No, but like I'm saying, like, unfollow the pages that don't bring you what you're seeking.
Yes, exactly.
Like if it doesn't bring you satisfaction into your life, or where you feel like that's who you aspire to be, cut it off. If it brings you negativity, like if every time you go on Instagram and you see a post and it's making you feel some type of way, and it's not because you're hating, it's not because you're a negative person, if it's just not beneficial to your life and to your situation, just know. And like I said, it's not because you're hating, it's not because you're like, well, why does she have that and I don't? No, it's just more of a, this person is not showing what it truly is, what life is, or whatever it is that you want to see from that person. Mm-hmm. And if they're not giving it to you, just unfollow. Yeah.
Collect your peace.
Toxic people out.
Peace. That's what that's my thing. If it doesn't bring you peace, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
If it's messing up with your mental health, it's not worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Oh wow,
that's the end of this.
That is the end of this episode. It went by so fast. I feel like we really went deep in it, and
we relate to it.
And
like I said, again, we're not talking just to make a podcast. We're talking because it's our experience. This is what we're going through. This is what we've been through. And you guys are sending us these questions that, we want you, to feel that you're not alone. We've been through it. We're going through it. And if we could help you by talking about it, hey, we'll talk about it.
Little tips and tricks.
Yeah. And
not tips and tricks, but things that have helped us along the road as well, And
then keep sending your questions. I mean, we love reading them. And just know that, we are here for you. No matter what, we are here for you. And, it's just, if we could use social media to be positive, why not?
Yeah. Instead of making it a toxic place.
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the 3rd episode. We'll see you guys on our next one.
Bye.